Final day tomorrow, so keep it here. In the meantime, operations at the National Cereals and Produce Board in Eldoret are moving at a slow pace. After the drying machine broke down, the dryer, which has been used over the years, is now under maintenance and is expected to be functioning in the next 3 weeks.
Sparks of reality hit home. Efforts to resuscitate what was the hope of farmers here are underway. But it is serious than it looks. This will take 3 weeks to get this drying machine into its former state. The drying machine at the National Cereals and Produce Board in Eldoret, Uasin Gishu County, broke down at a time when farmers had flocked the facility. It is that time of the year again, the maize selling season.
Pamana tunafanya repacking. Kufanya repacking lori moja unafanya mpaka jioni. Watu ni kidogo na kazi ni kubwa.
Watu wanalilia sana ku maneno ya nini? Kupeleka watoto shule. Wanakosa juu maneno ya kulipa wanachelewa.
The harvest is bounty, and according to the NCPB Regional Manager Eldoret, Jan2014, this is a big challenge. Bags of grain have to be manually packed, considering that the bags have been reduced from the previous 90 kilograms to 50 kilograms as per the international labor laws. Marindich confirmed that the board has so far received 755,050 kilogram bags of maize from farmers worth 1.2 billion shillings out of the targeted 1.5 million bags. For lorry and truck drivers, however,
kwa pesa ni mzuri tunapata, hata sisi mandreva tunapata mileage hapa ni mzuri sana.
It is time to reap from the misfortune, but for farmers it will be another 3 weeks of counting losses. Judikosge, Citizen at 1.
Now, it will take at least 2 years for the operations at Westgate to return to normalcy, following the devastation caused by last year's terror attack. According to Nakumatt Managing Director Atul Shah, most operations at the mall will resume in 6 months' time, with additional repairs to the building and tenant shops set to continue over the next 2 years. Nakumatt, which suffered losses totaling to 3 billion shillings, has today received a 1 billion shilling insurance payment from Mayfair Insurance.
The Westgate attack that left over 72 people dead and hundreds others injured has sparked off a new concern for Kenyan businesses. The attack, orchestrated by Somali terror group Al-Shabaab, left the country's largest mall in ruins, resulting in huge losses for businesses and individuals owning property at the mall. Nakumatt, which was the anchor tenant at the mall, says it lost over 3 billion shillings during the attack but expects to resume operations mid this year.
Front part of the building, which fortunately is sound and stable. That building should come up and running. It should be up and running in the next 6 months with a small Nakumatt store within that first phase. The second phase, where Nakumatt was, the bigger chunk of Nakumatt was, which was destroyed and which was taken down by fire, will take at least 2 years before it is up and running.
You never know. Terrorists can strike anywhere. If you look at the last few months, you have grenade explosions in Mombasa and all over the place. You never know when you are in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Nakumatt, which today received a 1 billion shilling insurance payment from Mayfair Insurance, says the attack had a ripple effect on other shopping malls, but most Kenyans are now back to their usual spending habits. Following the attack, more businesses are now looking to insure not only their premises, but also third parties such as customers and tenants against terror attacks.
Policy can provide covers for loss of damage to the property, to business impression as in the case of Nakumatt, and it can also provide cover for third-party liability also, which would be customers and all that. Again, it's a question of what covers the insured wants to take. Whatever covers they would like to take, it can be arranged.
Yes, all our staffs are covered under life insurance covers and medical covers and all that, but this was something unforeseen. A terrorist attack happening in Kenya is something that we did not believe it would ever happen. And it's now that we are learning, and in future we will put all the covers necessary in place.
Though the country is still healing from the impact of the attack, the restoration of the mall will be crucial to kick-starting the healing process. Henry Gadaiga, Citizen at 1.
Now, farmers from Nyeri County will now have their coffee milled, graded and branded at the Sagana Coffee Mills, which is owned by the Kenya Planters Cooperative Union. Nyeri County Governor Nderitu Gachagua said the farmers will reap maximum benefits from this crop when the milling begins, as it will save the farmers from perennial exploitation by brokers and middlemen who have dominated the lucrative business of the years. He further said that unlike the private millers, the farmers will be able to monitor all the processes right from delivery to grading. Most of the coffee cooperative societies have started delivering their crop to the mills in Sagana, and added that by the end of this week, most of the commodity from the county will have been delivered. You know, it is the latest farming craze that is fueled by incredible tales of mega profits and a long list of alleged gains from the otherwise small bird and its even smaller eggs. While some consider it as a delicacy, others claim its eggs, which fetch as high as 80 shillings each, have aphrodisiac and cholesterol-reducing qualities. But as Judy Kuske reports, there are also fears quail farming could be another con game.
It is a small bird in big demand. One 45-year-old James Mwaura Njoroge says can be traced back to 3,500 years ago. The Bible. The story of the Israelites in the wilderness.
Exodus chapter 16.
Yeah.
16, 12 to 13. I have heard the complaints of the children of Israel. Speak to them, saying, at twilight you shall eat meat, and in the morning you shall be filled with bread, and you shall know that I am the Lord your God. So it was that quails came up at the evening and covered the camp, and in the morning the dew lay all around the camp.
Sasa walikula nyama za
Quails.
Wakakula mayai ya
Quails, mayai hawajasema.
Si sasa wale walibaki hawakula zote. Si unasikiaga zinatagaga jioni kutoka saa 10 kuendelea mpaka saa 3 hivi. Kwa hivyo usiku hiyo walikula mayai. Si ndio?
Hapo amesema tu ni the quails ndio walikula meat.
Sasa nikuulize, mtu akisema kuku, ukitoka sasa utoke huko Gishagi na kuku ukuja naye kwa gari, si naweza tagia hata kwa gari. Na utakuja kula Nairobi, umetoka naye huko Kisumu. Si hivyo? Ni kama hivyo.
The excitement the quail has brought to Kenya and the rush to rear the small but expensive wild bird, which lays an egg which to Mwaura is way too expensive compared to its size, is what took us to Thogoto in Kikuyu, the farm of a small-scale farmer. In these cages are 400 quails.
Kununua kifalaga mmoja akiwa 1 day old utanunua 200, akiwa 2 weeks old utanunua 400. Angu akiwa 400 alinigharimu 160,000. Niliingia tu kwa boma yangu, kachukua ng'ombe wangu mmoja, nikaongeza ile nilikuwa nayo kwa mfuko, nikabadilisha biashara. Najua ni kubadilisha hewa.
Getting a license from the Kenya Wildlife Service was the first step. 42 days after buying the 2-week-old chicks, it was time to reap the proceeds.
Zilikuwa zinatoka paka 100, zikakuja 80. Hakuna kwayo inataga mayai, anafanana na mwingine.
Kilometers away from Thogoto, a teacher's estate in Nakuru, a large-scale farmer, Wamboi Karaoke, who rears 3,000 quails, talks of a choice which has changed her life.
Zilikufa sana mpaka nikasikia kuasha hii mradi, lakini nilipewa mtisha na mzee wangu akaniambia, when you start something you have to press on mpaka ufike where your dream is.
The diet is balanced, translating to more eggs and better meat.
Tarudi hapa kwa timetable.
Back to Thogoto, where Mwaura tells me why quail eggs is now a popular delicacy. Mwaura showing me the different diseases he says the eggs heal.
My asthmatic, kuwa na asthma, tarudi hapa kwa timetable. Takuta an adult, tatumia mayai 240, 240 eggs for 49 days. Siku ya kwanza atakula 3, siku ya pili 3, siku ya 3 4. From the 4th day to onwards, atatumia mayai 5 for 49 days.
Now obesity, how does it work? Now that, how does it help you cut weight kama wewe ni mmoja?
Inatoa cholesterol. Unajua kunona ni mafuta, mtu anakuaga na mafuta mingi. Lakini hasa ukitaka kujua utasoma hii paragraph nzuri. Kusoma itakudirect vile utatumia hii.
What this farmer believes is what